Welcome to the Big Three, Fantasy Alarm TV. I'm your host, Ray Flowers. FantasyAlarm.com/winning. Get your draft guide for 2015. FantasyAlarm.com/winning. Auction tips today in the Big Three. We're going to start with the number 200, as in the number of dollars I think every team should have to spend in an auction in 2015. Some leagues will do 100, and it's okay to do that. I just like 200 because it gives you more flexibility. A doubling of the units from 100 to 200 just gives you that flexibility to go more heavily in depth with players. You can go an extra dollar or two here. You have that ability to kind of go above or below based upon what you want to do. The roster should be 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex that can be a running back, a wide receiver, or a tight end, a kicker and a defense, and then 5 or 6 bench spots. 6 probably being the ideal one. And then you spend all that $200 to put that whole team together, and then you have at it. So you can use 100. The Oracle prefers $200 for your auction. Second number of the day is 5, as the amount of dollars that I would recommend you don't go past your allotted draft value for a player once an auction begins. There are limits to this. If you think that Larry Fitzgerald this season is a $4 player, and the bidding goes up to $10, and you get an inkling that he's the best guy left on the board and someone you really want to have, you can spend $10 on Larry Fitzgerald if you have it. That's different than saying I think that Antonio Brown's a $45 player, or Jamal Charles is a $50 player, and then go out and spend $55, $56 for those type of guys. It's okay to spend more money on the lower level players. It's not really okay to do it for the higher level players. I think people get too much of a vapor lock. I got to have player A over player B, and then player A goes for $60 and player B goes for $51. In the end, is player A, the guy you really want, going to be that much better? 15 to 20% better than the other guy? Probably not. So be careful not to overspend on the elite players in an auction. Then the final number is 4, as in the number of players that I personally would have on my roster, actually less if I can help it, that cost $35 or more. If you spend $35 on 4 players, that's $140 out of 200. That's 70% of your budget. Then you're getting into the stars and scrubs approach. That can totally work. It can, absolutely without question. At the same time, there's always a ton of values in the game of fantasy football. The elite players going for 50, 75% more than other starters at that position, and certainly they're not that much more valuable in terms of what you get on the field. So be careful not to overspend on the big name guys unless you're very confident that A, you can find bargains late, and that B, you're more prepared and a little bit more knowledgeable than your league mates, because it's very difficult to put a good squad together at the end if you're looking at a bunch of $1 and $2 players. Ray Flowers, Big Three, Fantasy Alarm TV, FantasyAlarm.com/winning. Go get that draft guide and win in 2015.